I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Why, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days, where we give you a full dish of this week's episodes of NBC's Emmy Award-winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my quarantine gaggle of gals. We have somewhere on this screen, Michael
Mattis. I can say my name.
Well, no, I mean,
maybe a little delay, but yeah.
Here we go. Shady Sundays begin. And then, of course, we have
Hey everyone, Chelsea Overrocker.
Miss OC herself.
Yes.
OC.
And giving you a ray of sunshine.
Hey y'all, Tammy Kavea. Happy Sunday.
Yay. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you're watching us live, we always appreciate you. And even if you're watching us later, we love you even more. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days on the Facebook and the Instagram. And on the Twitter, we are _Dishin Days. The @ is in quarantine and still implied. Also, make sure you check out all of our other soap opera recaps. We have GH Report for General Hospital and The Restless Rap for Young the Restless. And Bold and the Beautiful is on a hiatus. So once the COVID-19 has disappeared, you will see the lovely James Lott Jr. and Tammy Govea bring you the Bold and the Beautiful. Hopefully though, they have new episodes by then to talk about.
Yeah.
If you guys are listening to us on Apple,
True, but yeah.
Yeah. If you guys are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you give us 5 stars and please leave a comment. I went on there the other day and there weren't a lot of comments since February. So leave a comment. We want to know what you guys are thinking while you're listening to us.
And hit that like button.
And if you're watching us live or even later, please hit the like button. You know why? Because our engineer Ryan will consistently remind you throughout this 2-hour show to hit the like button, to hit the thumbs up button. So
please,
if you haven't already,
hit the like button.
There he is.
Hit it.
The voice of God. All right, you guys, what did we think of this week's episodes of Days?
Pretty good. I liked it. I think it speed up a little bit more towards the end of the week. Thursday and Friday were my favorite.
Oh yeah. Monday through Wednesday, I don't even know if I was so bored. I don't know why. So many conversations happening, and I was like, we need some action. We finally got that Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it started off as like info week. And then
heavy info week.
Yeah, and then we got some new stuff later on in the week. But yeah, I mean, I was into it. Well, yeah, I put my phone away because I really wanted to be involved. Because sometimes if I have my phone, I'm just listening and then I tend to miss stuff. So yeah, I thought it was good. It was a good week.
Yeah, I liked it. There are particular moments that I really liked. Like I love the Orpheus and Marlena confrontation. That was good.
First of all, we have to talk about that because I have many thoughts. So let's break it all down. It's now time to start Dishin Days.
Dishin Days.
So I forgot the hourglass. So
you have one job, Tony. One job.
And that's one of many.
He has 10 jobs.
I barely well, obviously I didn't make it on this on time. And all I had to do was walk from my room into my other room. Late.
You're nothing if not consistent.
Listen, if there's one thing Tony Moore is.
Yes, there you go.
All right, so let's kick it off with this first. Oh, I'm sorry. And you guys, don't forget, we are doing our quarantine check-in and we have some special guests attending. And I put a hint out that said, what did I say?
You said Rebecca Black would like it.
Rebecca Black enjoyed this day on Duel. So if you can figure all that out, then you'll know who's popping in. All right, I tried to make it all tricky. I get it.
Just when I thought I had finally forgotten that song.
I'm here to remind you.
I was like, Rebecca Black, why do I know? And then it just,
Friday.
Yeah, thanks, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we're starting off with the Steve, Kayla, Justin, Hope, Jack, Jennifer storyline. So basically, to sum up what happened, and then we'll get into our thoughts. Patch basically said, "Go be happy," and Kayla's like, "Wait a minute! You don't get to tell me what I should do. You've been doing that our entire marriage."
I was literally screaming at the TV. It's like, you are such an idiot.
Who is?
Why
Pat?
are you doing this? Steve, yes. Like, wrong answer.
I think it's because he feels so bad about what happened
Guilt,
when he was Stefano. There's so much guilt. And he's kind of like, you know what? If she's telling me that she's happy with Justin, then who am I to come in and like ruin that? So, woman, you go and be happy. But I was wondering, what was her decision? Like, was she going to go with Justin, or was she going to go with Patch?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to know.
Yeah.
So she made the decision, and then Steve, before she could reveal the decision, told her to go and be.
For her.
Yeah.
And then she got all hacked off because I'm like,
she got all what?
Well, she got all what? And then I was like, wait, what? You're mad at him now? Okay, you're mad at him just out of principle.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what frustrated me about that situation. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me that Steve would just be like, I get the guilt thing. Like, I understand the reasoning, or the reasoning we got for it, but it just doesn't ring. I don't know. For some reason, it didn't ring true to me, I guess. And then she got all hacked off, like, you can't tell me who to be with, blah, blah, blah. Just out of principle, she leaves and wants to be with, or it goes back to Justin. And I'm like,
yeah,
all right.
That's the fire in their relationship.
I feel like this was just like a delay. Like, they're just trying to stretch this out, and it's not clicking with me. And I'm just like, fine, girl, go do whatever.
Well, see,
I'll be here filing my nails or something while you decide. It was just frustrating to me.
This is what I thought. I thought that she was going to say Steve. She was going to be like, you know, this is decades of love. You're finally back to me. I choose you. And then when he said that, I think that ticked her off, obviously. And she's just
get
like,
over it.
Well,
Like,
fine, forget you. Like, I'm just gonna go with Justin. But then I don't like that Justin is second pick. Like, go with your heart. Like, if your heart says be with Patch, then be with Patch. If your heart says go with Justin, be with Justin. Don't be with Justin because Patch told you to. What is it that you want to do?
I thought she was going to come in and say, you know what? And Tony, you brought this up. I thought she was going to come in and say, you know what? I need to figure this out. I'm not going to be with you.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm not going to be with Justin because I'm so confused right now. There's so much going on. I need to figure this out. And that to me would have been totally plausible.
Yeah.
But I come in having made that decision, and then have Steve tell me what decision I made, or he's declaring. So I guess this is just like obviously one of my personal buttons. Like, don't tell me what I'm thinking. Don't make that decision for me.
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing. I would have been out the door.
Yeah.
And obviously this is a scenario this is the roller coaster that she's tired of.
No, I agree with you, Tammy. And I think she was at a point going to say, I need my space. Let me try to figure out what's going on here. I don't really necessarily choose Justin, but I don't choose Steve for right now. But yes, Steve kind of making a decision for her, I think is really what pissed Kayla off. And that's why, I agree with you, Matt, that she is just now choosing Justin because she just, not like a revenge, but she's like, I want to do what I want to do. I don't want someone to tell me what I don't want to do.
And I think that was a cop-out for Steve. Like, I'm just going to be, like, he's almost very Eric-like.
Oh, God. So now you have an Eric voice.
Yeah.
She has a Steve voice.
You know, and now Hope and Steve can commiserate together.
Listen, I'm still Kayla and Justin. I only because
Totally.
I like what they built. I like that it's pure. Like I get that fans really want Justin and Kayla. Kayla and Patch because they
The
have such
history
a
and stuff.
history. But for me, sometimes it's just kind of like, at what point do you just kind of go,
Enough is enough.
I'm tired. Like I'm tired of fighting for this relationship. This relationship is work. Like it's a lot of work. Like
Totally.
like you're dead. You're not dead. You're back. You're not back. You're gone. You're not.
You're
gone.
mad.
Like,
You're not mad.
yeah, like it's a lot. Like Justin is just kind of like he's here. It's been great. We've been going steady. Like it's built. Like, oh, it's I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
fans
I'm totally Kayla and Justin.
are gonna hate it.
I
get
know.
it. But
I'm
but,
not
but-
just because I don't know. I don't see it, and maybe it's because we were introduced to that relationship after it kind of already happened. You know what I mean? It was part of the time jump. So maybe the fact that we didn't see it happening, maybe that's the disconnect for me. But I don't. If I'm having to choose, I say Steve and Kayla.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Someone
because
in the chat.
they have the history. What?
Someone in the chat, Stefan or Stephen G said, I want to see Hope and Steve.
That would make a Twitter riot if they put Hope and Steve together. Holy crap.
Holy crap.
But I mean, they did have those scenes together, but I think hopefully it was just to show the two characters, like the common ground, to commiserate a little bit. And because those two were the only two. I mean, Chad a little bit and Marlena a little bit, but
not as
they
much
were really
as
in
them.
the thick. No.
Yeah.
Those two were in the thick of it, and they're the only ones that can really relate to their experience.
And that was hysterical. Go ahead.
I think we're about to say the same thing. Like when Hope came in and Patch was like, "Oh, my partner in crime," and
I did think for like a second, he was going to slip into Stefano and she was going to slip into Gina. Just for like a second, I thought, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I totally get
good.
that. Well, because like the way she came in with the flowers and he was like, "Oh, look who it is, my partner in crime." I kind of clutched my pearls because I was like, they still Hope and Stefano. They are still Hope. And then I was like, oh, okay, great.
You know what? I think for me it was the fact that he didn't say it in Stefano voice or Stefano voice. Like I was like, no, they're not being like, oh, there's like a secondary chip somewhere else in the body that like in their foot that
oh my
keeps
God, I didn't
them.
even think about that.
At first I started imagining a scenario. I was like, no, but he didn't say it in the Stefano voice. And Hope didn't have that. Hope had like Hope. She wasn't like have Princess Gina. She didn't have the Princess Gina. She didn't have the Gina aura.
Yeah.
She was adamant about him reading the card on those flowers. I was like, girl, did you give him flowers? Like you could have just said you got him flowers. but it was from Anna. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, that's nice of her to say.
Sorry, I spiked your eye.
Tammy, are you fanning with the shoe?
Yes. We don't have the AC on. The window's open in here, but it's like warm. So the slipper is the closest thing I have to a fan.
Girl, we are in the valley. You better crack open that AC.
Fan? I know.
Or you better
Let me go see if I can find a fan.
You better make one out of paper.
I need
a
fan.
Okay. A girl. But yeah, so that whole thing was interesting. I'm really wondering what her final decision is going to be.
Right.
I don't think, like, I think when Steve came back, they were all expecting for Kayla and Steve to get right back together, but I think we're in the.
They had to make a little drama.
Yeah, we're stretching.
But at this point, I'm at the point of the storyline where I just want it to be like I'm kind of with you. Like I want to know her decision and go from there. It's still in limbo.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was that storyline, and we'll keep this train moving. And when Tammy Govea comes back, You know, oh, there she is. She'll just pop right in. All right, so Tammy, just in time, we're moving on. All right, so we're going to Zoe, Evan, Christian, Rafe, David, Orpheus, John, Marlena. Okay, first of all, so overall, what happened? Orpheus went to see Marlena. Zoe and Christian discuss what they need to do along with Orpheus. And then Rafe moves forward with the adoption of David and has a conversation with David as far as like his father. First off, I want to say, dear Dr. Marlena Evans, if someone you don't want in your house shows up at your door, he should not end up in your house.
In the house.
Like when she opened the door, I'm thinking to myself, so you gonna close it right back, right? Like how does he end up in the house? Like, girl, like like if I ding dong, because first of all, when someone comes to my door, I'm already very like, who is that?
You
And I'm
peephole
like
first,
looking
right?
through I'm looking through stuff and everything like that. And then if you don't have a peephole, which she doesn't, you do that slow open where you kind of and then as soon as she saw it was Orpheus, you know what I mean? And then be like, yeah. And then it should have been, what do you want? And then what it should have been was a scene from her on side one door and him on side the other door. That's how it should have been.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, but
Marlon Wallace. Okay, so Marlon Wallace says Marlena should have just run out of the door, like run away. But we've seen how she runs when she tried to run out of the Dimera house. Sorry, that girl ain't running nowhere.
Well, no, she should have just closed the door, locked the door,
Yeah,
grabbed
exactly.
the phone,
Closed the door, locked it, grabbed a weapon, and been like, "Get out of my house."
And told John like, "Hey, get back home. Orpheus is here."
Mm-hmm.
Like
with that tone, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, get home.
Hey, get home. Orpheus is here, and like locked herself in the room. Like, what is Orpheus doing all up in your house?
Yeah.
Well, and then she's like, John's in the next room, and he's not even there.
And then ring, ring, ring. I'm like, my girl. I'm like Marlena. Listen, you are too experienced in this.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Like I think she.
to know how this goes.
Maybe it's the after effects of her brain chip being removed that
PTSD.
She ain't thinking with a full deck yet.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
yeah, because the way she collapsed in John's arms afterwards, like she's a mess right now.
Well, she was
a mess.
I think she was also just very frightened. Like she really tried to keep it together, but I think deep down inside she was very scared, and she was doing her best to maybe not upset him, and not show fear, like kind of like stand her ground. But deep down inside she was scared, and that's why when he finally left, she like you saw the relief of like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here, and like nothing happened. So
it's interesting because the removal of the chip from Marlena and Hope and Steve, all three of them are really off right now. There's like, I think there's major residual damage. Like when Will got his memory back and when Jack got his memory back, like they were back to normal. They were totally back to normal. These three though, not so much.
Maybe there's a few side effects.
Maybe.
I
think it's a good point.
Residue.
Was it you, Tony, or Michael, that said maybe there's another chip in their foot or something?
Oh gosh.
Well, that was like a worst case scenario. Like if they're gonna try to continue the chips.
God, that's hysterical.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
Listen, the only chips we need are Pringles. That's it. We don't need no more chips.
I like barbecue Lays.
Oh, I like barbecue Pringles. I have some. They're so good.
So good.
So hungry. So then moving on to the rest of the family, which, by the way, I kind of like. And Ron is so good about this. I love that he brings history into the show because it makes sense that in yesteryears, when Marlena was captured and, raising the kids, which side note, Orpheus tried to blame Marlena for what Evan Christian did, and I'm like, that ain't her fault.
That's so rude.
She wasn't
Yeah.
babysitting. She wasn't babysitting them kids that long to have like that
Yep.
much of effect. Like, girl, bye.
She's like, they're your children.
Yeah, that's your DNA. That ain't got nothing to do with my ancestry.com because they will not show up. So, I love that Ron does that, and I love the dynamic between the sister, between Evan Christian's sister and him. I love that dynamic, but they also laid the foundation that they are different. Like Zoe respects Orpheus, but as her father, but doesn't trust him. She's like, listen.
Always has his own plan.
Look, I'm happy to help and do what I need to do, but I see him and what he's really doing. I need you to see that too. But what is this? Okay, so Orpheus told Evan Christian, what we did is between us.
So I didn't miss something, right?
No,
there's something else we don't know yet.
Yeah, but because I was like, now wait a minute. I'm pretty sure we have seen everything that has happened.
I'm thinking we don't know, but I'm thinking it has something to do with Jordan.
Nobody has to know. That's what he said.
I have a theory, but I don't want to say it because if it's right, then
wait.
I put the pieces together, and I think
I was with you, Michael. I thought it had to do something with Jordan as well too when they first said that.
Okay,
but what was it? What was it? I don't know.
Can we go back to weeks ago when Orpheus and Clyde were discussing the real reason why their kids met? Could that be the secret? Because he was supposed to. Oh my God! Someone in the chat room help.
He was supposed. Okay, so
he was supposed to go get something.
Supposed to go get something from Jordan,
right?
Because Jordan had a key, I think.
Yeah.
To something, to money.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It was something. It was something along those lines. Like, could the secret be that, and what's really behind that?
Sure.
Or do we think this is another piece to the family puzzle?
I think it has something to do with Jordan, but what exactly? I mean, I have a theory, but
people think there's a third baby somewhere.
We don't need no more babies.
The third baby was with Kristen and with the different storyline.
Okay.
People thought there was a third baby in that, but I don't think that anymore.
We don't need no more babies. We good.
No, right? I totally agree.
We are good with the baby. We are very good with the baby storyline. We're good.
You think Jordan's alive? Or is she dead?
Michael Mattis?
I don't know. I don't want to say.
Is that your theory? Is that
Kinda, yeah.
So
they stashed Jordan away.
Okay.
That he didn't actually kill Jordan, and they just stashed her away. But there was a body, right? So that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, but I just like that they built this family. I love new families coming to Salem because
and I like it when they have chemistry and you believe that they're brother and sister, and you believe that they're brother sister children. The dynamics between them are all very strong.
And Zoe did tell Rafe, because Zoe went to see Rafe about the adoption because he's trying to move forward with that. And she mentioned to him that she's going to sue for custody, but she didn't tell him that she's the sister.
Yes, she did.
Yeah,
at the very end.
Yeah, at the very end. Rafe's face dropped.
He's like, you can't. Yeah, you can't do that. And she's like, yes, I can.
But I thought, unless I missed it, I thought she said that, and then he kind of chuckled, but they cut, and she didn't say the rest. He's just kind of like, why do you want custody?
No, I remember her saying
I
remember her saying something about it.
She did?
Yep.
I missed it.
But you know what? I think I'm kind of liking the chemistry between Zoe and Rafe.
See, here's the thing. I think I think
they're hot
Zoe
together.
I think so too. And I think, like the secret between Christian and Orpheus, Zoe doesn't know, but I think it's going to be so big that eventually Zoe's going to not want to be maybe part of that family, maybe maybe it'll be like a love story between her and Rafe. Because I think Zoe's so, she's just I think in a way she could be trustworthy, and I think she really does put her family on a pedestal, but they go behind her back. I could see her turning on them, to be honest with you. I think there could be a storyline there.
Here's a poo-poo thing. I mean, we know Galen's gone. So it's like,
yeah, you know what?
I'm really gonna invest. I don't know.
On a side note, that's the one thing that I really, and that's why we don't do spoilers on this show, because I really hate knowing when people have left or when they're coming. Like, I literally want to block out all the news and watch the show and go, oh, who that? But I can't ever do that because someone says, oh, Rafe is leaving. And so now I'm just like, well, how he gonna leave? Like, instead of just being like, oh snap, he gone.
Or a photo will be released of something, like when they released the photo of Claire in the burning cabin a week before the episode aired.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so furious.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a fan's fault. That was NBC's fault for putting that photo out.
Yeah. But we don't, just to let the record show, we don't know anything. We never know anything. We see the week, we talk about it. That's it.
Anytime I have a theory, it's just because of all of the years I've watched soaps and I kind of figured out the formulas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when I think someone's alive, it's just because basically on days now, anyone can be alive.
Yeah.
They've really set it up that no one really has to fully die. But
Marlon Wallace in the chat said, but Tony, you watch the promos for next week. That's next week. That's like watching the end of a TV show and it's like coming up on the next episode and you're like, ooh, I kind of want to see it. But like when I know 4 months in advance, then like that's different. That's a different preview that I didn't ask for.
Agreed.
Just saying. Okay. Was that it with this storyline?
Pretty much. Yeah, there's just that there's a secret we don't know too.
Yeah. And also Evan Christian has yet another name because Zoe started calling him Chris. And I was like, listen, Evan Christian Chris don't need no more names. Like, that's it. We done. It's either Evan Christian, that's it, or Evan Christian. That's it. No Chris. We need no Chris. No Chris. All right, so let's move on.
This is hysterical.
What?
This is John Del Rey in the chat. It says they should put Stefano's chip inside baby Mickey. I'd love to see the toddler scheming and ruining lives. Maybe
like the baby from Roger Rabbit.
I can't.
Oh my God.
And it would have Victor's gruff voice.
And then the baby sitting in the crib listening to classical music and conducting it.
You idiot.
Just saying. Okay.
I love it. Yes, so good.
So the next storyline, which is the pretty major one, is Xander, Sarah, Kristen, Brady, Victor, Eric, Nicole.
This was the good one for me. This was the storyline this week that I was like glued.
Yeah, because so basically to sum up what happened, Sarah is in Paris with Mickey. They're trying to find where Sarah is because they talked to the pilot and he dropped her off in London, but then she hop, skip, and jumped into Paris. And then Brady and Kristen both find out that Victor was involved in different ways. And
handle it in different ways.
And handled it in different ways. Kristen went and, I thought it was a shank. She stabbed Victor.
That was good. Like Kristen went full on old. I don't want to call her old Kristen. Like I want to just call her
default button.
Like default Kristen. Yeah.
She was Kristen when Kristen lost Rachel and dealt with Haley.
Mm-hmm.
It's
oh
like
my
that
God,
same. it was that same look.
Stacey does a.
She slapped the bejesus out of Xander.
Oh my
How
God!
many times
Like
did you
a
hit
couple of
him?
times.
In those 2 episodes, Stacey was just like a powerhouse. Like you could not stop her.
So
And
Stacey
the
was
way she
great.
just like was slapping Xander, and then the look on her
Oh
face
my
when she like
God.
the look on her face when she stabbed Victor, and then like left him there, and was just kind of like that look on her face. I'm like, uh-oh.
The look,
And then
the look over the lamp, I was
that
like,
one, yeah.
oh,
That's an
Miss
O'Shiz
Stacey.
moment right there.
Yeah.
Actually, Me World said that cheese knife can cut deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I will say this. I get this whole week everyone is saying, you know, Sarah, she just found out her baby's dead. Yeah, she took Rachel. Give her some slack, Kristen. And yeah, but I'm kind of with Kristen. It's been a whole year that I found out that I thought my baby was dead and everyone's telling me to relax, and she took my baby across the country. I was
It's
like,
hard
go
to-
Kristen.
It's hard to take if you have to take a side between Sarah and Kristen, and like whether you think Kristen should like calm the F down, or whether Sarah like Sarah wasn't right to take the baby, but you almost understand the mentality of it.
Yeah. And I get it, but I wish people would have given Kristen a little bit more slack too, because I feel like they were just always saying,
I will say Kristen just kept going after, like, it was like she turned around and saw someone and was like, now I'm going to tell you off. She turned around and now I'm going to tell you off. And after a while, it was just like, and she realized it. She apologized, and she was like, I'm sorry for being crazy. And then I thought that it was interesting that after she went and shanked Victor, she went back to the police station.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to turn herself in. I thought she
Me too.
confessed.
I thought she was at least going to tell Brady.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But then I was like, oh, he's going to find out.
Kristen sat there with the tight lip, like behind Brady as he's getting the call about Victor, like.
Well, the way Stacey was playing it, I feel like Stacey was playing it as though like Kristen wanted to tell him. She was struggling with it. She's like, I know I did something bad. I know I want to tell him. She just couldn't bring herself to do it. She was just like, I'm just so tired.
Again,
she's like, let's just go to Europe. Let's just go to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, we're out of here. But if you look back at when she pushed Haley, it's in the aftermath of that, she reacted the same way with Victor.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way. It's the same feel of like, what did I just do? Like, she's aware of what she did, but can't believe what she did.
Right.
And
it was so rude of Victor to say, oh, put that knife down. We both know you're not going to.
I jumped during that.
Listen.
Yes.
You know who I wish was here? I wish Lonnie somehow made her presence before Kristen did that, because they made such a great team where I feel like if it's not Brady, Lonnie can really talk to Kristen and say, hey, you need to think about this. You're about to get your baby girl back. You could start a family with Brady.
Yeah,
calm down.
That Kristen Lonnie relationship was great, and they just kind of put it back, and then maybe that's coming back soon. Maybe they'll revisit that.
I don't know. Look, once they got back to Salem and they ditched those nun outfits, they were like,
they got their men's back. Once they got once they got the D back, they were like, see ya.
They were like, all right, girl, this was cute, but I gotta go.
They had business to attend to.
Yeah. They were like, we're good. I listen. First off, shout out to Gray Sweatpants season. We love a good pair of gray sweatpants. Thank you, Xander, Paul Telfer.
And we love Paul Telfer.
We appreciate it.
Oh my God.
But he also tugged at my heartstrings when he got in touch with Sarah, and he was like, let me help you. You can't do this on your own. I will, like, it was just kind of like, listen, you saying all the wrong stuff, but you saying all the right stuff to her, but it's still wrong. Like, but you love her so much, you'll move heaven and earth for her.
And as much as she was almost considering it, you knew she wasn't going to go for it. Like there was a few times where they, you know, they tried to make us think that, oh, she might actually go for it. But in the end, no, she said, bye.
Yeah. Sorry, I was, someone was asking if we, did they take a moment to appreciate Xander's peck hugging t-shirt? No, we
Yes.
were, well,
I did personally, sorry.
sure. I was more appreciative of the before, of the shirtless and the defined and the muscles.
I have said it before. I appreciate a man of that physique in a baby small t-shirt. They did it with Christopher Sean over and over again, and it was very much appreciated. And yeah, when Xander got dressed, I think I was watching it with my husband, and my husband was like, "Oh my God, babe, gay," because that's how the gay gentlemen tend to wear their shirts. I am right. Oh my God, babe, gay. I was like, yep.
That is hilarious.
No, but yeah.
That's so funny. Oh, and then the whole thing with the neighbor in Paris, I'm like, Abigail and Sarah do not look anything alike. Like,
I mean,
how are you confused?
They had to establish, and I think they established this after that scene happened. They had to establish that neighbor wasn't quite all with it. She wasn't playing with a full deck. And I think Abigail and Chad had a discussion about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, because when they, full disclosure, I only watched one episode of Chad and Abby in Paris. But I did remember when Sarah walked in, I was like, oh, that's Chad and Abigail's Paris apartment. I was like, I wonder if they just reused the set, but no, they actually made it part of the story. Now, I don't think they explained how Sarah got to that apartment or if it was just a random coincidence.
I think she did mention it. She said something about Abigail had mentioned that it was just sitting there, and I think someone had a key, and so
someone had a key. Yeah,
she got the key and she went to Paris because she knew that apartment would be empty. But I was like, smart on Dave's production. Like, don't just tear down the set. Write that on in.
Yeah.
I was like, kudos to y'all on that. So, because as soon as she walked in, I was like, "Ooh, is she in Paris at the Abigail?" And then I was like, "Oh, yep, she sure is." So there she is. So yeah, so that's pretty much it with that storyline, right?
Yeah, Victor's in the hospital, and
yes,
an artery may have been something.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they don't kill Victor.
No.
But the whole thing with Kristen and Victor reminded me of Hope and Stefano.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
they had that confrontation.
Yeah,
because he's constantly torturing Kristen. Yeah.
They like Victor and Kristen have always had a tumultuous. Like Victor basically just hates Kristen, and will give her no benefit of any doubt.
Nope.
And yeah, so there's always been bad blood.
Bad blood. All right, so that's it with that storyline. But before we move forward, we have a little bit of business brought to you by Chelsea Overrocker. Take it away.
Hey, hello everyone. Hello. We just want to say thank you so much for making AfterBuzz TV the ESPN of TV talk. In order to help us grow, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a rating on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. We just really want to thank Kevin, Maria, and the whole AfterBuzz staff for being able to communicate with you guys remotely. I hope everyone is staying safe, healthy, keeping that positive mindset, and we just love engaging with you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
This announcement brought to you by the fine folks here at AfterBuzz TV. All right, let's get into some tidbits. All right, and then we'll go into our segments, and then we'll have our quarantine guests. So we're gonna blast right through this. Starting with the first tidbit: Chad, Abigail, Gabi, Tony, Anna, Mr. Shin Jr. Can I just give a moment to Lee Chin, Mr. Chin's son? Bravo.
Right.
On
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
First of all, I thought it was genius that they had not Mr. Chin, but the son come in to take care of business. Love that. And then I was also like, oh hey, Mr. Chin. Mr. Chin Jr.
Huh? He pretty.
He was kind of goofy.
He
He had a
pretty.
couple.
You thought he was
goofy
goofy?
moments. It was cute. In a few like he had like just that. How to describe it? Like his grin. Like anytime he said something, I don't know. But he's cute.
Like I'm new to the business.
Kind of, yeah, I guess. But
he got my vote.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's selling, but I'll buy it. But I honestly didn't. I know Gabi has done a lot of wrong, but I really don't like how they're treating Gabi. I
didn't like their smugness about it either.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that we have that feeling when we know all the crap that Gabi has done. It's interesting that we can almost sympathize with her and be like, and be that way about their, how they're treating her.
Yeah. And I feel like no, it's a double standard. Abigail killed Andre, went crazy, sent Gabi to jail under that, and did all that she did. And it was like, all is forgiven.
Because she was sick. Oh, but she was sick. So
yeah, let's give her a hug and keep
send
her
to grandma's
protected
for a week and she'll be better.
But when it comes to Gabi, like no one has any sympathy for the fact that she, one, built this company up and made it what it was. Two, went to jail for something that she didn't do. Three, got beat up in jail and is no longer allowed to have a kid. And so then, of course, when she gets out of jail, I'm not justifying what Gabi did, but I understand why she was like, people keep coming for me and I'm not going to sit here and take this. And even with taking away like her business and all that kind of stuff, I was really feeling bad for Gabi.
I love that moment between Gabi and Julie when Gabi was holding that steel daisy flower. And Julie's like, what are you going to stab me with the daisy? And you got nothing. I love that. I loved it when they got along and I love it when they hate each other.
Yeah, same.
I just didn't, I didn't like the
well, and when Gabi was like, I'm suing you for wrongful termination, and she took the champagne, I was like, yeah, girl, you take that champagne.
Right.
And then Chad had to be a dick and be like, give me that champagne. Get out of here. And I was like, you two, like Chad and Abigail were obnoxious this week. I was not on their team.
You thought things were kind of awkward between them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of
obnoxious or awkward. You think it's like weird?
I thought the characters were obnoxious. I thought in the scenes, there was weird. They played off each other oddly this week. I don't know why. I'm like their scenes are just really odd.
Whose?
Chad and Abigail, Billy and Kate.
Yeah. Chad.
Yeah. But and then she had that vision that it was Ben.
That came out of nowhere.
Oh, that was interesting.
I was like, don't go crazy again, girl. And I also, and someone was saying something about in the chat room how Gabi is always like coming for them. But listen, when someone gets smart like that and they want to point out all the other stuff, it's a grasp. It's like, I see how you're treating me, so this is my defense mechanism. I'm going to tell you all the things that's wrong with you and be shady towards you and let you know that you're not about to break down this boss bitch because I'm going to do what I need to do in order to keep me where I need to be. I don't know what all this was. But when she looked in the window, and first of all, she looked in the window of Gabi Sheik.
Gabi Sheik, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, and she saw Stefan, I was like, first of all, where is he standing? Secondly, is this a dream? Thirdly, Brady did not have no. I didn't even understand that scene because he had no time for Gabi.
that could have just been like cut, and
Yeah.
like they ran into each other, and he was like, "Haven't you heard my baby's been abducted? I gotta go," and he was off, and I was like, "That was weird." Okay, of all the stuff that they kept in, but maybe there was a reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I stand corrected. It wasn't a daisy. It was a sunflower. Thank you in the chat room for correcting me on that.
And also,
Sunflower.
when you get fired from a job, you are allowed to be escorted into a place to get your belongings. Like, they shouldn't have changed the lock on her like that.
It was standard HR procedure. Give me a break.
That ain't standard HR procedure, but I tell
And then
you,
we can just mention this briefly because I thought this scene was really awkward as well. Tony and Anna have once again left Salem.
yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the whole toast to like
Yeah.
Gabi and like all that.
Yeah.
It's all very mean spirited, and maybe that's why we don't. It's just because it's like they're reveling in it, you know.
Yeah.
And they just like have this smug sense of, you know, we're better than her.
Yeah.
I don't like people like that.
Now cut to Sierra and Ben. The motorcycle is broke. There's a mechanic nearby.
Yep.
They're also hiring. Ben goes in. Ben goes in, and up pops out Stefan.
Doppelgänger.
And I'm just like, oh boy.
Can I just say how good he looks?
Yeah.
He looked good, and he looked different than when he was playing Stefan before.
Yeah, keep him dirty. He looks great.
Keep him dirty and very angry, very like gruff.
Yeah.
Which Stefan had his angry moments, but
laid back type of feels that I'm getting from this guy.
Yeah,
not
he's
so
just
uptight,
earthy,
very blue collar.
Yeah.
Can we take a moment of how Sierra was trying to get Ben back home? Like, oh, maybe we should just call it a night. Ooh, I can't wait to. And then she was trying to convince him. Like, she is all about getting beat down by Ben right now.
Well, don't you see how Ben is?
I agree. I agree. I agree. It's funny how she's like, well, maybe we should just call it a night.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen, if I was Sierra and we were walking in Horton Town Square and I saw a big enough bush, I'd be like, let's go. I'm just saying.
No, I will say, Ben was my boyfriend and he'd been in jail for a year. Heck yeah. You got to make up for lost time.
Exactly.
And then some.
It tickled me. It just tickled me. I agree with it. It just made me giggle.
Did it tickle you?
And then,
I don't blame her, no.
And then really quick, Will, Sonny, Maggie, and Julie. I literally was like, Julie is going to spill the beans. And then I would have liked for it to have been Julie to tell Maggie, because I feel like the history, the softness of it and everything. But then when Will came in, did the whole emergency and then left.
Oh my God.
And then kind of just let Maggie know, oh, the wedding didn't happen. I'm like Maggie. I'm like, y'all can't. I'm like, Will, you know how it is to not know what's going on the outside. Like, let me know what's happening. Like, someone's gonna have to soften this blow for Maggie. Like, I think it's now time, because it's already out there. Maggie needs to know the truth. That's just
Victor did say that he was making sure that Maggie was kind of in a bubble, that he was paying the right people, not putting her in solitary, but making sure she didn't know. And I find it funny how people can just come and go from that prison. Like there's already a visitor in there. Like like Will can just really roll up and interrupt. Whatever. I have to let that go.
Yeah. All right. So that was it. That was the week of days. Let's breeze through our segments. We'll start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap. All right, so my 3 Snaps Award goes to Lil David, because that was the most engaged little boy in an adult conversation. Because when Rafe was like, we have to talk, he was like, yeah, 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 yeah. And I was like, you better have an adult conversation at your age. You better work. So, Lil David, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. All right.
I mentioned this to you guys in the chat room. What cracked me up about David was that whole scene where he was engaged, and then Rafe was like, "How about a hug?" And David's like,
he's like, that was not part of the deal.
That's not a script.
Right. And now it's time for yes. Give it to me.
Yeah, it's gonna go to Nicole this week. There was actually a couple of
good.
contenders. Yeah, but that, of course, she's wearing Zara, which is like one of my favorite lines of all time. The color was amazing. I thought it was a dress, but it's actually a blouse and skirt. And so, yeah, Miss Ari Zucker, you rocked it. Nicole, you rocked it in Zara. You get this week's Designer Days.
And now it's time for
You are using an unregistered version of Xander. You are using
Caption that.
all right. This week's Caption That Photo comes courtesy of Xander, aka Paul Telfer, in his gray sweatpants, coming out from his hellacious hangover. There's that photo. And this week's cat got a lot of great ones. Didn't use them, but this week's Caption That goes to Carolyn Longstreet Johnson on Facebook with her caption, "Ugh, I feel as bland as the color of this room."
Ha.
And
Ha.
I couldn't use the power bottom one. It was too.
That was the one I laughed at.
It was hysterical, but I didn't know if it would be. I didn't know. I felt that one was a little too risque.
No, stop overthinking this. That one was hilarious.
I didn't know if Paul would appreciate. Paul's pretty cool. I just didn't want. I don't know. I feel like he would have appreciated it, but in case, I felt I went the safe route.
Well, stop being safe. All right. And now it's time for.
Hey, why? It's like, oh.
All right.
Okay. Moment this week. I'm gonna give it to Sen, you guys. I loved Ben and Sierra on that bike. I want to see more bike trips with them. But what really made the odd moment was when Sierra went down memory lane and she's like, when you rescued me when you rescued me off the road, set my broken leg, and then Vance saying, I'm just so grateful. And I was just very grateful for this scene. So you guys get my moment of the week.
Yay. All right. And so we also have Me World 2's Oh Shiz moment of the week, which I will retweet and I won't tell you what it is because I want you to watch the video because he put so much hard work into it. So after the show, go to our Twitter, make sure you see Me World 2's Oh Shiz moment of the week. And now, the moment you guys have been waiting for. We have started our quarantine check-ins with some of your favorite dual stars. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be hot for the 2 people who are coming in. So, Ryan, let's go ahead and bring in our 2 guests who have been holding on so tightly. Oh, there she is!
She was like, oh, and
she was in the midst of getting ready.
That was like,
hey, girl, hey!
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then, of course, you can't have one without the other.
Why can't I hear? What's happening?
Oh, wait, can you hear us?
Oh, I can hear y'all now.
There we are. We have Victoria Conifel and, of course, Mr. Rob Wilson in the house. Hey, y'all.
Where is he? He's like, is he at an airport?
What's going on, guys?
Nothing much. Well, thank you guys so much for checking in with us.
And props to Rob for having the best view. Damn.
Totally.
Right?
I know.
Oh my God. So the chat room is having an absolute meltdown right now. all we see is, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This
Oh
is
my God.
hilarious.
Well, guys, how have we been doing? Victoria, we chatted with you like kind of right at the beginning of this, but
Yeah.
One of
now
our
we're
first, yeah.
we're in the thick of this. How have you been? How are you holding up? How's the dog doing?
Yeah. I wish I could tell you that something has changed, but not much has changed. You know, I've been really, really writing a lot of music and like working with different music producers through so I'm like, yeah, I'm finally, you know, because I've been talking about it for years now, like, oh, I'm gonna put out a song. Like, no, now there's no excuses. I have, you know, so yeah, I've been doing that, and you know,
Awesome.
keeping my peace, you know, doing things that make me feel happy.
Good. And Mr. Rob Wilson, how have you
I've
been
been
holding
working.
up during this whole thing?
Yeah, no, I've been working on my music too. I've been singing real loud in the shower. My neighbors are getting really upset. I think it's coming along good. I mean, I'll put something out there soon. Maybe V can like hook me up with somebody in the industry and like dial me in. No, other than that, no, I've just been hanging out, man, watching a lot of Netflix and a little bit of reading here and there, a little bit of writing on some stuff I put down a long time ago.
Yeah.
Just trying to weather the storm, try to stay busy as I can.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So wait, have you watched like Tiger King and Too Hot to Handle and Love Is Blind and like
I didn't do the Too Hot to Handle, but I heard of it. I definitely heard of it. I didn't do it yet, but that's one that's on the back burner.
Victoria, what's
I'm not Too Handle.
okay.
Tell you, these people are wilding. Y'all know the premise, right?
Okay,
Let me just say, where's my money? Like, if all these people, where's my money?
For those of you,
my coins, bro, get out of here.
For those of you who are not familiar with Too Hot to Handle, it's like Love Island, except they bring all of these hot people to this wonderful paradise.
The most beautiful people on the planet, like perfect 10s across the board. Everybody's gorgeous.
And like they're all looking at each other like, boom, I'ma tap that, I'ma tap that, I'ma get that, like boom. And then this little like cone thing named Anna basically comes on and says, the problem is that you guys need to learn how to build connections with people. So during this whole thing, you guys cannot have sex with each other. You can't have sex, no self-sex, no kissing, no nothing. And if you do anything inappropriate, the $100,000 prize will go down. So for every kiss, that was $3,000.
$3,000.
It was $20,000. Like, and let me tell you, some of these people could not resist. Like that money had gotten down to like, well, y'all have to watch it. Y'all have to watch it.
Yeah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. But
I'm not gonna spoil it.
Let me tell you, Tony, up until watching Too Hot to Handle, I took a couple days off of working out, right? Because I was like tired and, you know, lack of motivation. I watched one episode, my ass got right back up. I started working out for 4 hours straight. I was like, I'm not about to watch all these hot people prancing around in front of me while I'm looking like a potato. So, you know, if you need motivation to work out, watch Too Hot to Handle.
Listen, I highly doubt you look like a potato. So, Rob.
No, I mean, like a yam, I guess.
Sweet potato.
So, Rob, you have to add that to your queue of things to watch on Netflix because we ain't got nothing but time.
I mean, if there was ever a time I'm gonna be caught dead watching it, I guess it's right about now. So I'll give it a run.
Yeah,
it's right.
I'll give it a run.
But listen, once you watch it, then post another thirst trap on your Instagram so that we can all look at that.
And tag these people, right? We gotta tag them up.
Yes, tag them up. Because listen, we here for the thirst traps because I have nothing but time. So all I'm doing is scrolling and I go, okay, Rob, give you a tap and then I gotta keep going.
Wait. I'm gonna
Wait, what? Say that again?
I said I'm gonna tag you in the next one.
Oh, okay.
I got
Tag
you.
me. Because trust me, I'm gonna be reposting to everybody. I'm like, look, did y'all see this? Everybody's gonna get that. I'm gonna be sliding in DMs talking about, look, go follow him. Look at this. Y'all see this thirst trap? Go get it.
I got you. I got you. I don't know, the thirst traps are going to be down to a little bit of a dull roar, I think, because I also put on the quarantine 15, I feel. So, I don't know. I'll have to watch a little Too Hot to Handle, get my ass back in shape.
Also, nobody.
I feel like Rob and Victoria have a very different.
What's
like
that?
when you talk about a quarantine 15, like look at me and you see like quarantine 25. Like,
come on, man.
Like,
you look great, dude. You look great.
Thank you.
See, well, I rebuke the quarantine 15. Like I have been getting up, I've been walking, I've been working out. Like I'm trying to come out of this like Corona snatched. Like they're gonna be like, "Ooh, Tony, like
you stepped out, diced up."
Listen,
Yeah.
Like
they're
a
gonna be like
salad, baby.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, what you were on? I was like, honey, I got that Corona snatch, honey. Like, you know, while y'all was sitting there eating potato chips and stuff, I was getting this body right. Like they skipped over. They skipped over Hot Girl Summer. That's what I was going for. So I was like,
Hot Girl Summer is canceled. So this
canceled. So
that's awesome.
I was like, you know what?
COVID cutie.
Yeah, I was like, we'll go with Corona Snatch. I'm here for it.
The Corona Snatch.
The Corona Snatch.
I like it.
Don't Google that, people. You may come up with something you don't like. You don't want.
Yeah, you're gonna get something you're gonna get something a whole lot different.
Oh no.
You're gonna get something a whole lot different.
Chelsea. Oh no.
Okay, so listen, Victoria and Rob, this is great, but I wanted to add someone else to the party because I feel like, you know, someone should be added to make it like a loft reunion. So Ryan, our engineer, go ahead and bring in our special guest.
Olivia or Lucas, it can't be Liv because she would have told me about it.
It is Lucas!
Hi!
Yo.
Oh, there he is.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Hey. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How's everybody?
So
oh yeah.
I thought this would be, I mean, because again, we have nothing but time just to like relive some lost moments. I really wish that I had brought cereal so that Rob could like
sit,
oh my God, eat cereal.
We missed that opportunity.
We did. # missed opportunity.
Do you want me to grab some?
Yeah, drop the ball on that one. Yeah, Rob, go grab some Frosted Flakes.
Go
or like
get
Cheerios
some cereal.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yum. Yum.
Nah, you gotta get that Frosted Flakes.
Oh, yep. Listen, I'm not saying Frosted Flakes just because the dude is named after me, but I'm just saying if you're gonna do cereal,
hey, yeah, they're great. You know what I mean?
So Lucas, how have you been? How are you and Shelby holding up during this whole quarantine thing?
I mean, I'm doing pretty good. I'm like kind of a homebody in the first place, and so I can stay productive mostly. I have a whole workout section now that I did in here, and then I have my video games, and I've been trying to read more, and that's about what I've been doing. I've been reading a lot of comic books.
That's so cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
Just trying to stay busy.
I love that you had to clarify when you said that you were reading. You're like, it's comic books. Like, don't.
Well, yeah, because I'm reading like one book right now, but I've been reading that book for like 5 months, and so you know, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna read my comics now because I can only sit down for so long before I need to like get up and do something.
Yeah.
Wait, so what book is it that you spend in 5 months reading?
Fight Club.
Ooh,
it's fantastic. It's fantastic. But then
there we go.
because like a lot of books I'll read in like 2 seconds, and then some of them I'll like, okay, cool. I'll read it for a little bit here, a little bit there. Then I'm like, okay, I've sat down for like 15 minutes. I've been reading for at least 10 of those 15 minutes. That's pretty good for me. So I'm like, I'm gonna go. Like, so I'm like, as long as I can read for like 10, 15 minutes a day, I'm good. I get so tired of reading.
that was my plan. I was like, oh, because there's a ton of books that I have on.
Yeah.
I actually have a bookshelf in my room, and I was like, oh, I can actually like get to these books.
Yeah.
Not happening.
I finished my audiobook today, and then I'm like, I can't believe I'm listening to an audiobook, even though I could just be reading, I guess. But I'm like, I just get tired. But it's nice because I can like put it in and I'll like go and do things, so I don't have to be sitting in one spot the whole time.
Right.
Or I just get antsy.
Yeah.
I just finished the Odyssey today. So that was a good one. And, and it was narrated by it was narrated by Ian McKellen, and so I was really excited about that.
The Odyssey, as in Homer's Odyssey?
Mm-hmm. I listened to that.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Well, it's the audiobook. I didn't have to really do anything. I just
if it's Ian, then
he's like, I just listened.
such a great voice.
Ian McKellen with that, it was too. I was like, oh, this is perfect. I can listen to this all day. How has everybody else been doing? How's everybody been holding up?
Pretty good.
Good.
I luckily I'm still like I'm very fortunate that my job wasn't affected by this whole mess, so I've been able to I have something to do every day, and that if I didn't, I probably I can't imagine. So very fortunate in that respect, and
Okay, Victoria, for this this
Northern Lights
we're doing.
I know. All of a sudden, like, okay, Halloween.
My head has long since been launched into space, so I just thought it would be, an accurate representation of what's going
on. So what are some other things that you guys are getting to do that you didn't have time for during this?
We're going through our movie list actually really quickly, which is nice. We have we go through, like right now I think there's like 45 movies on this list, but we have it separated in comedy, dramas, and others. And then it's just movies that people have suggested to us, or like, oh, you've never seen that, or like one of us like, oh, I just really want to watch this again. And so we have them up in 15 different ones. And then every time we choose, each of us choose one from whatever category that we're in. So like mine this time was a documentary. It was actually the 30 for 30 for 4 days in October about the Red Sox, which I love that one. And so I showed Shelby that one, and she was like, "Oh, this is actually like everything of sports that I want to watch." And I was like, "Exactly, that's all you got to do." And so, but we have we've been going through that. Yeah. What?
Send that list over. Share the wealth.
Yeah. I will. We actually took photos of it so we can make sure because like a few of our friends have asked for it before. And then we just mark it off and then we go through it. So this is like our 5th list that we've gone through.
Oh wow!
Damn, so good work.
And
dude.
So and so we just kind of watch whatever. Like if you haven't seen something, it's like, oh, put it on the list. And then we go through every Oscar winner. So I think we're on the 4th Oscar winner ever is our next one. We're doing that in like chronological. So it's like we've been going through. We watched the
like
first
from the
one.
very beginning of the Oscars.
Yeah, and, that's always in one of the categories. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Wings was awesome. It was amazing. It was like the 1920s silent film, and it was incredible.
That is really cool. I like that.
Yeah, and we were doing voices for all the characters because you can't hear them; you just have the dialogue. So.
It's an interactive activity.
Exactly.
Nice.
Victoria and Rob, what have y'all been making time for now that Victoria, you already said music.
Yeah.
What else?
Doing music and like Lucas, I've been reading a lot. I have a shelf of books as well that I've just accumulated over time that I really would have liked to read, but I never had time. So now is a better time than ever to get cracking on that list. And yeah, like I've been doing. I've had a couple of auditions.
You had auditions?
Oh, right. Wow. I'm like, my team works harder than Kris Jenner or whatever. Cause how they found auditions in this time, I don't know. I've been on a couple. I've been making like new business connections. Like I've been on more business calls now than I have before quarantine started. So I'm like, I'm being a little homebody gremlin.
Gotta hustle. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Good for you.
The hustle is real. Rob,
So
what about?
I was going to say, I have a good book for you guys. I know
What's
you
that?
have a reading list already, but Maurice Bernard from GH. So
Yeah, I saw that. He opens up about like mental illness. Is that what it was? Something like that?
Yeah. It's called Nothing General About It. And it's his autobiography. And it's an amazing read. He's so raw.
I like that. I like that title too.
Yeah.
It's a good title.
About his, Nothing General About It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good title.
You can get it on audio and you can get it as a hard copy as well. So highly recommend it.
I have written it down.
Can we discuss Jimmy Fallon's The Longest Day of Our Lives parody? First
Those
of all,
are pretty good.
It's like the best thing ever. It's hilarious. We, and I'm sure you guys saw, so we were trying to,
Oh yes,
pushing.
the Twitterverse let me know what y'all were talking
about.
It was not a silent endeavor. It was loud.
It was well, because I think, and the fans think that, like, listen, if you're going to do a parody of, days, and maybe they just use days because it's Days of Our Lives and they're like the longest days ever, whatever. You're going to have to include some soap people at some point, just for the shits and giggles of it. So we were literally
even Friends did that.
Yeah. So it's like who would you want to see? And we just let Twitterverse
do its thing.
Yeah. And
let it run.
And listen, we're hoping that, because there's no reason why Jimmy Fallon or anyone there haven't seen it, because again, they have time. Like, they produce the show at home, and I'm pretty sure someone has to look at what Twitter is saying at some point. And so, y'all have my vote. Like, I hope that the phone rings and then all of a sudden,
chapter 3.
Yeah, and then there's like some sin happening, and it's like, okay, we're here for it. We're here for it.
You should come in
like
wearing it.
Freaking the Kool-Aid man over there. He's like, oh yeah.
But
I'll be down.
I think if sin were involved, we all would want to like somehow see a virtual shower scene.
That would be impressive.
I have a hose in my backyard. We can make do with that.
I was about to say, make sure you put your phone or your computer in a very nice waterproof case.
Yeah. All right, this thing's ready to go, man. Tell me when. Water.
People could not stop talking about that scene. Like, everyone was just like glued to the TV with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, applause, bravo! Like, we're here for it, and we're also here for the many suggestions that have happened since then. Like, we're just like, we get it.
Like what?
What suggestions?
What are you talking about?
Are you talking about Sierra?
You can't just go like, we get it.
Well, okay.
Wait. What suggestions though?
So after the shower scene, then like y'all were in bed at Salem Inn, and it's like, we have to go in 20 minutes, but we got a little bit of time, so we can kill two birds with one stone.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that line. We have to say that line. So Sin's in bed and Ben is going in on it, and Sierra's like, no, we can't stay in bed like this. Like, we have to face the world. And Ben says, you've never said no to me before. Said no to me.
And
she's all, I'm just trying to be practical.
Yeah, she's trying to save water.
Right. Concerned.
You compromise. You took the shower together to compromise.
She's environmentally friendly. What are you going to do?
Oh my God.
We're just trying to conserve, man. We're just trying to conserve. Sin is very environmentally friendly. And time efficient, so we really want to just make the most of the time. So,
right.
Yeah.
Time is money, man. Time is money. You got to get that going.
Seriously.
That's right. But no, that was interesting. That was interesting. Having a crew around us. And
Victoria was very real about that whole like filming of it. It looks all great and wonderful, but the practicalities behind it is a whole other ballgame.
Did you?
You don't know.
Yeah.
I had to
I mean-
actually shave his face, worrying about if I'm gonna cut like the moneymaker, like
Rob,
she was great.
She's a-
No, she was
Killer,
on
it's a
point.
cool scar.
My main concern was just making sure she was comfortable and like able and like not in her head about like anything else. So just as long as she was good, everything else will fall into place. You know, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Michael Mattis, you were gonna say something?
No, I just wanted to be like, how did you fully trust her with that razor?
I was fucking nervous. Oh, excuse me.
Like, obviously she wouldn't like do anything intentional, but like,
would
were
I
you
though?
like,
I mean,
oh, or would
It's-
she? I don't know.
it's me.
I mean,
scared
would
me.
she though?
Yeah, oops.
Would she though? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Why did you make me jump like that? How dare you?
Well, no, she brought like even I was just like, I'm nervous when I shave my own face that I'm gonna cut myself.
Me
So-
too. It's so hard.
Yeah.
You gotta get it,
You gotta like really stretch the skin out and go for it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get all
Totally.
the crevices, man. It's hard.
And so I don't know if I would even trust anybody to do that. And I
That
asked Victoria, I was like,
the first time that's ever happened to me in my life, period. Not just in
Oh.
TV film world, but in life, period. No one's putting razors on my mug. I definitely haven't,
Gotta
especially
protect
recently.
it.
I'm growing this thing out. I'm in the quarantine period right now.
Oh,
So
me too.
maybe we'll do another one. Oh yeah. How you
This is
doing over
my
there?
this is my quarantine
Nice,
beard.
bro.
Yeah.
Nice,
yeah.
bro.
This
Coming
is
in
me.
nice.
This is me.
I've had to shave too many times during this quarantine. Shelby doesn't like it, especially because then one time I was like, fine, I'm gonna, and she thought it was funny, but I was like, I'm just gonna get rid of it now because I had chops and I just shaved everything else except my chop.
Oh.
Wolverine right now, and I was like,
bro,
I'm
when
Wolverine.
before this is all said and
How
done,
y'all
I'm
doing?
doing
How's
I'm
everybody
doing it all, bro. I'm gonna do just a little stash. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do the
Yep.
chops. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
the fucking thing around the side. What is it? What is it?
Strap,
I don't know.
chin strap,
The strap? Oh, chin strap.
Chin strap.
Chin
I'm doing it
chin
all.
strap going. You're gonna go old school chin strap. But you got to make sure it's like the David Ortiz like chin strap that just goes like
Oh, hey,
straight
Big
around.
Papi. It's Big
Just
Papi,
straight
man.
around
I watched
right
that-
there.
I watched that man for years.
Oh
I
yeah,
got you.
it's like a perfect angle everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just letting mine grow out just to see what it can do. Cause like
Same.
this is the most hair I've ever had on my face. Or even on my head. Like I have
Oh,
my
yeah, dude.
full on
I'm
like
I'm
high
on
top
Ruli
fade.
right now.
Yeah.
I'm on
yeah.
Ruli.
Yeah.
How long my hair is right now, man. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate my hair this long.
I don't know.
It makes me
I'm-
so mad.
I'm kind of digging my high top fade. Like this is like full on like kid and
I like
play.
Tough.
It has a
I'm
nice
feeling
shape
the whole
to it,
look
like
is
a
fine.
nice
Right?
structure. The fluff
nice
is
and clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had to wear hair bands like to keep my hair back because it's just so thick, and so it almost looks like it'll be in a ponytail. I'll just have it
Oh.
straight back, and I'm like,
There
yeah,
you go.
it's-
Give me
Yeah,
that
it gets-
Jesus hair.
it gets long, guys.
So Lucas, you kind
How
of
you doing?
you almost have the what we call the struggle ponytail, where like it's only about
Yeah.
this big, but you can gather it all and still make somewhat of a ponytail.
That's why I just do like the single like a soccer style headband.
Yeah.
Just like put it up and I like keep it back, and I'm like I just keep it out of my face. I've
Yeah.
been so tempted of buzzing my hair multiple times this quarantine.
Please don't. Please don't.
I don't know. I
Don't-
think I could pull it up. I think it looked pretty good.
No.
with buzz cut.
This is
Oh, I've had every thought go through my head during this quarantine. I was either A,
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
buzz it, B, bleach it, which is still on the bleaching it is still on the table. I just don't know when the hell I'm gonna go back to work. So
Shelby wants to give me a haircut, and it makes me a little nervous. But I think I might trust her with it at one point.
keep me posted, man. Get
yeah.
those
I might-
updates.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Don't Rob. Don't do your hair. Like although
Oh.
Well, what if I don't go back to work for like months?
No, you should just dye it purple.
no.
Oh my gosh, no.
No.
I think purple would be cool.
Listen,
Purple might be tough.
see, this
Purple would be cool.
This is what's wrong with quarantine. Like people are trying to be circa Britney 2007, where they're
No,
shaving
this
off
is what's
they're
good
dyeing
about
it and all-
quarantine.
No.
They're getting all that
Like-
out of them now, so when they
Uh-uh.
go back to the real
Crazy
world,
out.
it's all normalized.
Hey,
again.
if Britney can make it through 07, we can make it through quarantine for sure.
This
That's
is
right.
true.
All we have to do is dance in our bikinis after that, and we're good to go. And that's what she does all the time now. She does
Facts.
that all the time.
That's all she does.
I was like, I don't know why. Every time I look at TMZ, it's a new video of her dancing, and they're like, she's dancing again. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You do you, Brittany. Like,
it's just her giving
Living
like
her
a twirl.
best damn life.
that's what I'm saying.
Living
That's what
all
I'm
her
saying.
best
She's just
life.
like, she's like,
She's
whatever.
like, fuck it,
I'm
gonna
living
put my
this now.
bikini on. I'm gonna
Yeah,
dance around.
I'm living my life. And I was like,
Hey.
hey, that's cool. Do that.
Here's a tip. If you want to do something adventurous with your hair, but not too permanent, you're afraid to, you can dye it with Kool-Aid. This is something that I did when I was in high school. I would take the tips of my hair, put it in grape and cherry Kool-Aid, and I would have like ombre red. And your hair tastes like Kool-Aid for like 4 weeks. So you leave like
It's a no-brainer.
eat it,
It's a
you know?
no-brainer.
Oh, I love it. You guys should do it right now after this call.
It works. It works on darker
I have the
hair
Kool-Aid.
too. That's the thing. You just need to like leave it in for like, I don't know, 30 minutes, and then your hair is red.
I got
for, like, a
I have
week.
crystal light. Will that work?
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure. You're
Still like
blonde, so maybe it'll work for you. You can try it.
It's pink. It's pink lemonade. It could be nice.
I'll talk
Be like a
you
nice
through it.
like some nice like pink highlights there.
I'll call Shelby.
Yellow.
Some tips on how to properly administer it through your hair and
There we go. I've never dyed my hair a day in my life, so I'm down. Let's do it.
Oh, dude, back in the day, you kidding me? Back in the day, the highlights, that was the jam. When I was like middle school.
See,
Bro.
Did you guys ever do
spiky
sun
hair.
in?
Sun
just
in.
spiky hair.
Totally.
yo, I looked like an orange sickle.
That happened to
know.
me.
Terrible.
I
What
used
was it?
sun in
Sun
whenever I was a
in.
teenager and would mow the lawn, I would spray sun in, and then it turned
Really
orange.
bad.
And
It turned orange.
my mom was like, what did she say? I can't remember what her ultimatum was. It was either like, you have to keep it that way and grow it out, or you have to cut it. I can't remember what the ultimatum was, but
You
I
have to
kept
keep it or cut it.
something
awesome.
like there was something like so I kept it, and so I grew it out like longer than it's ratty right now, but longer than it is now, so that like when it grew out, it was like dark and orange. And my mom was like, "You need to cut." I was like, "No," and I refused to have it cut. That was my teenage rebellion. My
That's
sun
great.
in orange hair.
My hair used to get sun bleached all the time just being outside, but it was only in certain spots. And so I had when I was like 13, I had Mr. Fantastic like white streaks. That was
Nice.
It would start just from here and it would go
That's
all the way
so
to the back
cool.
of my hair, and it was just blonde and then white.
That's
Just all the way
great.
down. Yeah, and it looked almost like gray hair, but I was like, I just called myself Mr. Fantastic for a little
Love
while.
Mr. Fantastic.
I
Mr.
am
Bombastic.
I'm glad to say I
Oh,
have
Mr.
never dyed
Bombastic.
my
I
hair.
heard that, dude. I heard that.
I've never done anything to my hair. Like I've had every single hairstyle a guy could have, but I have never dyed my hair.
I have.
Never dyed
It might be time, Tony. It might be
But
time.
listen, I'm trying to not be one of those guys that dyes
Too
their hair
late.
blonde or does a buzz cut. Like
Well,
I'm just
okay, so for
just living.
you guys know how long for guys with dark hair, you know how long it takes if you want that true bleached look. You know you have to like peroxide it like 5. You have to strip
Yeah.
all
You
of the
just
color out.
Strip your
first.
natural hair color first.
Oh, yeah,
and
dude.
then bleach
The
it
whole
like white.
process.
My
It's
husband
remember.
did it, and
if you
it
do
took
it wrong.
9 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucas is here for it. Lucas is like, all right, I'm down.
Like, I had no
Lucas has blonde
idea
hair
about it.
naturally, so
Yeah.
it won't do. You
Yeah,
know?
I did it.
No.
I did it when
It
I
won't
was
do
like
very much.
in middle school. I remember doing like the highlights and the
Uh-huh.
everything, and yeah, it took
Yeah,
a,
the
it took a
frosted
while,
tips.
man.
Rob, did you have like the Justin Timberlake, not the Justin Timberlake because it wasn't
Frosted-
curly, but
frosted
like
tips.
that boy band like frosted tips look?
I
Go that far
think I
with it?
did it one time, but it was before that era. It was like during that era, but like it was before that. It was
Oh,
like
you were-
bowl cut year. Like I'm talking, I was like 12 years old. I was like a little kid, you know.
Wow.
Bowl cut highlights, frosted tips,
Bowl-
you name it, dude. We did the whole
Bowl
gamut.
cut highlights would be that. That'd be.
Oh, I'm gonna hit you with it. I'm gonna find you the picture. I'm gonna send you the picture. Fresh highlights on the bowl cut, big old chain. I thought I was something fresh, dude.
I
Big old
had
chain
the
highlights.
straight- I had either the spiky hair, like complete spike, where you could like poke your hands with it, or it was like spiked up in the front. I had the spike.
Oh
up in the
yeah,
front, bro.
dude. The
I was like that.
blowout, bro.
Oh yeah.
Growing up in the East Coast, talking about spiked hair, that's like what we did. Like
Mhm.
the blowout. It looked like a crown
Facts.
of like spike.
I
It's like
think I-
Protozoa from Xenon. It was the coolest hairstyle. I tried to, when I was a kid, I tried to do that so many times it would never work. I tried to, I was like, man, they're like, these spikes are perfect. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. I tried so many times. Nah. You just get the comb and just like make sure it stays up and put as much gel as you can.
I think I had braids when I was 12 or 13. Like I saw I saw the guy on this show Parenthood, and he had like it like parted down the middle, and he had braids going that way, and I was like, oh, that's what I want. So like my mom braided my hair. Listen, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was the coolest kid in middle school. Nobody.
We still can't tell you
I had a
anything,
buzz
Tony.
cut until sophomore. I had like a buzz cut almost until like sophomore year of high school, I think.
Really?
I did my hair like when I was like in 5th grade. That's when I had the spiky look because I thought that was really cool. And then after that, I was like, I'm tired of fixing my hair every day. Just buzz it. And so after that, it was just always buzz cuts until I was like a sophomore, and I was like, maybe I won't buzz my hair this year.
Oh man, I've had the low cut. I've had this twice. I've had braids. I had a Jerry curl. I had the fro curl.
Nice.
Yo, I got it.
And
I gotta see with the Jerry curl.
Yeah.
But have any of y'all ever had that the Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic like swoop back with like 50 pounds of gel phase?
I could never do it.
I made my brother go through that, and every morning I would like whop like 20 pounds of gel on his hair, and I'm like, no, trust me, it looks good, brother. Like all the girls will love you, right? No, it didn't work out so well.
And it protects him at any time if he falls because he's wearing his own helmet while anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Dude, you remember that? You're probably using that gel that was like that, always a neon color. It's like LA,
but it's clear. But it's clear.
Yeah, clear, but like blue.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit turns into like stone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I use that and tons of baby oil for the shine effect. I wanted it.
It's already oil. It's got the gel.
Baby oil. I would.
Wow.
So
and we thought it was so cool. We would walk to the subway and be like, "Yeah, we look like fucking spies or something." It was ridiculous. 14-year-old.
Just nice and hey.
Oh no. Oh no.
I obviously could never do that with my hair, but I wanted to though. I wanted to have that coif like pushback, but it never
worked.
Never came to fruition.
You're like, nope, that's a no for me.
Nope, never. The closest I ever got to it was when I had braids, and my mom would like braid my hair, not cornrows, but like each individual braid would go back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was my version of the coif.
Like a bunch of French braids, or
no, like little or like plaits.
Just like straight, yeah.
Yeah, just one after the other, just going back.
Cute.
Yeah, I was
fresh.
Listen, I was too cool for school during that time. You couldn't tell me.
I had that Bieber hair for a bit too when I was like junior or senior. It was like the whole like I had to like kind of get it out of my face.
Oh, you were that guy.
That's so well. Stop it.
My coach used to always be like, "Hey Bieber, get over here." He'd always call me Bieber.
Yeah, I'll be right there, coach. Hang on.
Yeah, I'd be like, hang on a second.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh my god. Well, listen, we don't want to take up like all of y'all's time, obviously, but we like I know. But we like
I got a bunch of shit to do after this.
Hey, I have been getting done like everything I've been like needing to get done just around the house and stuff. That's been pretty nice. Ooh. But then I'm like, okay, I've done the laundry 3 times today. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And dishes. Why? Like I've been doing dishes. Like I've been having to run the dishwasher every day. I'm like, how are we accumulating so many dishes? It's like dishes and laundry 24/7.
Because you're eating that. Like there's nothing
you're eating
except like watch TV and eat. I mean.
I live alone. I eat straight from the jar or whatever. I don't even use my dishes. What is a dish anymore? No, I just like milk.
I can relate to that. When I was single and would make something in a pan, I would just take the pan and eat it out of the pan.
And you take the pan and you eat it with the ladle or the spoon.
Yeah, exactly. Save yourself some work.
Exactly.
You gotta have the whole like because it's like you get the it's a nice thing. You get your I'm like one of those people that like when we were like going to days like 5 a.m. I'll wake up at 5. I'll make like my breakfast. I'm by myself and I'm like sitting at the table. They just have like my napkin here, my fork and knife, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a nice little morning this morning. I'm gonna do this. That's me. That's me. Like anytime I eat. Yeah, if I'm eating it, like I'm just gonna sit down here. I'm gonna have a nice time. I'll sit in there later. Like I'll sit in there for right now.
I need to fix like a plate. Like I need if I cook something, like I want presentation.
For it to look good. Yeah, you gotta make it look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watch baking shows.
Yeah, because if I just eat out of the pan or something, like it makes me feel some kind of way.
Makes me feel some kind of way.
At me.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not
Cabbage, it's okay. Listen, I appreciate great presentation too. But sometimes
VK's over there with her Easy Mac, and she's just like eating that little with the pot and the pan. She's just like, yeah, okay, with her wooden spoon.
Gremlin up in this kitchen, like. Hey.
Don't feed her after midnight. Don't feed her after midnight.
Listen, I'm not coming for you, Victoria. You do you. Like I appreciate that, but just for me in my house, I would just feel some kind of way about eating out of the pan. That's just me. But I'm not knocking you.
Stuff.
No,
yeah,
no.
I drink orange juice a lot of times out of it.
Try it tonight. Just eat straight from the pan and see what happens. See how you feel.
But isn't the pan so inconvenient? Because a lot of times the pans are so big that you're like, I just have to sit with this stupid pan on like my lap while eating.
What Victoria's saying is she's only cooking for one, so the pan's probably, at least in my experience, the pan was never that big.
Cooking for one, but I'm making a big old pan of pasta.
From my pan every day.
You're like a pork and beans kind of girl. You just put it in the microwave for a bit, take it out, open up the can, and you just eating it with a spoon. That's my dad. My dad does the same thing. He opens the can. He doesn't want it to cook. He just opens the can up, and that's how he eats the can of beans.
I take my beans very seriously, so they need to be heated up. But pretty much everything else, I like a jar of honey. I will straight up open that and eat that for dessert, like a whole. With
peanut butter.
I do that. I do that with just a squeezed bottle of honey. Yeah.
Peanut butter.
I'll squeeze the bottle of honey in my mouth for a little bit. That'll be pretty good. But I do that.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I'm hungry now. I'm talking about this. I'm like, I want some spaghetti.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I
might make some Easy Mac tonight. I don't know. I was just talking to you about it, but I was like, I might do it now.
About how my
Velveeta though. Velveeta is the best. It's the best one.
Velveeta,
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. That needs to be in every mac.
Velveeta mac and cheese. Oh,
and truffle oil just to give it that extra oomph.
Yes. I got to be in a mood for truffle. I got to be in a mood for that.
I don't know about that.
What you do is when you make it, when you're stirring all that stuff up, you put like a half a teaspoon of sugar in there too, and that makes the flavor really pop out while you're stirring it. So put like a half a teaspoon of sugar in your mac and cheese. Boom. That's the way you do it.
Wow.
Oh,
that's the way you do it.
Wow.
That's the way you do it.
Okay.
I
like it.
Cooking. Okay. I watch Gordon Ramsay all the time.
All right, so that now that we've all worked up an appetite and we are probably all very hungry, thank you guys for popping on. We appreciate just like checking in with y'all and just making sure you guys are doing okay. Like it's a strange time for everybody, and I think that what the fans have liked so far is that, you know, you guys come on and we can physically see that you're doing great. You know, you're hanging in there. Everything is fine. And so it's good to just kind of get together and just chat, you know.
Exactly. Laugh.
No, thank you for reaching out too. I'm glad we got to do it again. I know V did her thing here like last time, and we did a live. So I'm gonna try to do this again with you guys, or I'm gonna do a live as well soon with some fans. So I'm gonna post that out there.
And it's good to really check up on everybody. Yeah,
Totally.
check up on everybody, check up on your friends, everything like that, because this is a hard time for everybody, especially in especially there people deal with a lot of stuff throughout their lives, and like this is a time that's just amplifying everything, and so this is really good. It's a really good thing to make sure you're checking up on everybody, and like especially like the fans that are sitting at home waiting for something to happen like that, and then we need to make sure we're checking on everybody.
That's right. I mean, I think that's what I was going to mention earlier when you were asking what I was doing. If I'm either feeling really creative, I'll try to stir the pot. If not, my main thing that I'm like proudest about of this whole moment is just trying to reconnect with people that I haven't even spoken to, whether it be friends or family, people that I haven't spoken to in a long time. As bad as things are, it's somehow bringing together people in a good way, which is
in a different way too, in a really different way.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that.
Like
we've been doing dance parties.
Oh, snap.
Dance parties.
Let let me know when the Zoom dance party is happening. You know,
Dishin
I-
Days dance
Started
party.
right now. Who's
What
got
you
the
mean?
option for
It ain't
I
right
mean,
now.
listen,
right now, bro.
you know, I'm down for a 5, 6, 7, 8.
No, yeah. What we've been doing is like everybody gets a song. You choose a song. You're like, all right, cool. This is the song we're playing, and then we go, okay, we're gonna play it on 3. 3, 2, 1, play, and then everybody mutes themselves, and we just dance in the camera with everybody.
I'm here for it. I am
Yeah.
here for it. Like
It's
my some college friends of mine and we've been doing virtual happy hours and just
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
like so it's a thing.
Yeah.
train has sailed.
We've been doing charades, you know, a lot of
Yeah.
times like we'll do charades, try to like do some sort of games throughout there. We did a couples game the other like a couple of weeks ago, which that was pretty funny. That was pretty interesting. We found out a lot about it. Each
If
other.
you guys like, there's a virtual version of Cards Against Humanity that's really easy to play with multiple people.
Ooh.
There's also
that's
that
an-
app called House Party that
Oh,
has
yeah.
like, trivia already built into it. You can draw. It's like trivia on different categories. Freaking heads up.
Yeah.
One with
That's
the
cool.
words and the head going up.
Heads up with the heads going up.
Heads going up to the head.
Oh, it's so good. Like it's just been great, like just reconnecting with people and just doing stuff to keep our mind off of stuff. Like we're still obviously doing Dishin Days and like watching the show and giving fans, you know,
Thank
something
you
to
guys
come
for doing
to
that
and
too.
enjoy.
You know,
Yeah.
giving days that push during this downtime. You guys always put a nice like,
Especially, yeah.
flavor into our
Especially
show.
now,
and
Days is
recap.
the only show, I think, only soap now with new episodes.
Original
Hey,
content.
hey,
Yeah.
the strong
Whoa.
survive.
Yeah. Listen, at first we used to be like, man, we wish Days would catch up because like when hot stuff is happening, like if you got to pivot, you can pivot. Now we're sitting here like, thank God that Days
Good
is
that they
like
didn't.
Exactly.
a year in advance.
Yeah, everybody else is gonna be
Until
watching shit from
October.
1995.
Yeah,
We're gonna be just putting out that new still.
yeah. And listen, we appreciate the new because I'm sitting in front of my TV at 1 p.m. like,
Yo, I've
Oh, man.
been watching old sports games because I'm just so tired of there not being sports on television.
oh
I've
yeah.
I watched
That's
the
cool.
56. I watched the 56 World Series the other day just because I was bored,
Wow.
and I was like, all right, cool,
That's
Yankees
awesome.
and Dodgers.
That's cool.
I'm gonna watch this for a while.
Yeah, man. I
That's
can't
cool.
lie. I have not put on ESPN since the weekend of this quarantine starting because it's just a tough time to be a Boston fan right now.
Dude, you got to watch The
Oh.
Last Dance though. You
Man,
gotta watch
Brady.
The Last Dance.
Oh, dude, the last dance is phenomenal. The
I was about
first
to say
two,
that's
that's tonight.
amazing.
The
Yeah.
new one is tonight.
Yeah, that's
That's
amazing.
good.
Oh
Hell
man,
yeah, that's
it's really good.
That's the best, man. The GOAT, Jordan.
Yeah, no,
Get
it's
my
it's
mind
a
off
sad.
of Tom and Gronk and all that mess.
I actually sent I sent Rob all this stuff. Every time there was a Tom Brady update, I would like message Rob and be like, "Hey man, here's this. Look what's going on." And I was like, "Oh, Brady to the Bucks," and he's like, "No, I don't even talk about it." Every time there was an update, I was like, "Uh oh, Rob."
Just as I was coming to terms with Tom going away, Gronk
Rob was
Yeah,
already
I
gone.
mean,
Gronk he decided
just-
he not only wanted to come out of retirement, but be a buck now. Like that broke my heart. I can't believe
Well,
we're talking
Tampa
about
Bay is probably the perfect place for Gronk, which is hilarious because
Shut
that
up.
is probably the perfect
Nobody
place for him.
asked you.
Yeah. But that was the reason he
And
retired.
he's
Was
the
because they.
perfect blah, blah, blah. No,
I'm talking about because Gronk is just going to party the whole time. No, but like the Tom and like he was retired because he was like, I don't want to play for another quarterback. And then Tom's like, hey, I'm going to go to the Buccaneers. You want to go? And he's like, sure.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful loyalty
Yeah.
right there. That's like a beautiful bromance. I love them together.
It is. It's still
Dishin
stinks.
Days Go Sports Talk. What's up?
Yay, sports ball.
I have no idea about sports. Like if it's not RuPaul's Drag Race, I have no idea.
RuPaul's
if-
Drag Race.
Like that's my sports. Like if you want to talk about who got eliminated on Friday, like I'm all here
Yep.
for it. We can talk about all that, but like as
Too
soon as
hot
you
to
talk,
handle. Mhm.
or too hot to handle. Boom.
Oh,
Love is
stop.
blind.
No, get that out of here. Oh, yeah, man.
Did you watch
they're
it?
all
Here for
shoving
that.
watches right now. They've been watching Love Island and Love is Blind and all this crap, and I'm like, I hate all of these people on these shows. Like,
No, you
I hate
got
I can only-
so much
that's
that
why
you
we keep
love
watching.
watching it. Like that's why I'll just watch the shit and I just laugh. Like I'm not
Yeah.
seriously.
I will sit down. I'll sit down for a little while. And I try really hard because I want to get into it because they watch it. So I'm like trying really hard, and I'm like,
You're just
okay,
a real
I've had
old
so
soul.
much. I was like, I've had so much of this crap. I'm just done. I was like,
no, it's really good. Like just go into it like a fan with open arms and just embrace it. Yeah, and embrace it. It's so good. Like I thought I wasn't gonna.
I've been
like
watching
it,
Survivor reruns. I've been watching Survivor reruns. That's my reality television.
Oh, boy.
That is so fun.
All right, so the engineer's like, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So
We gotta go.
Do we have any like fan questions? Did anybody ask questions on Twitter, or was it a surprise? Like I don't even know if we were.
It was a surprise. Yeah,
it was a
Surprise.
It was a surprise. Yeah, like so how we always do this segment is like they don't know who's coming in. They just know someone is coming in, and so people come in and they're like, "Yay!" and then they just listen and they just
Yay.
yeah.
People
And
come
then-
in and they're like, "Yay!"
Yeah. They're like this. They're like, "Who's coming in?" And they're like, "Oh, hey!" And then they just like, themselves. Yeah. So this was
I like that move.
Is there-
I like that move.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I was like, should we be like messaging it? Should we be like putting this out there or no? But
So is
I
there,
like your style.
Well, yeah. Well, now you can. Now you can be like, "Hey, if you didn't catch it live, like watch it now." But like,
we don't have time. We don't have time to take a lot of questions, but someone's asked this question multiple times. If you can describe what's going to happen to Sin in one word, what would that one word be?
oh boy.
Ooh.
One word.
Victoria had a word last time. I can't remember what it was.
Pendulum.
Oh, that's right.
Pendulum.
Pendulum.
That's a good word. That's a good word for a soap opera storyline too.
She's got another one.
Oh, I can't. It's too nail on the head.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do that. You'll get a phone call after this.
Yeah.
Right? An angry.
We'll stick with
rhyme.
Pendulum. I forgot about that.
Yeah. As the pendulum swings, so do
But
the
then
beats of our lives.
But that was Victoria's. Rob has to give one.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Rob's like, I zoned out the last 5 minutes. Hang on, let me think of something.
I honestly, pendulum works, but one word to describe. Jesus, there's just so much good, and then so much. Listen, it's tragedy and triumph, man. So I'm giving you 2 words. It's tragedy and triumph. That's the name of the game. Their love is going to conquer this. It's going to fight through it. It's going to win because love has to win. But it wouldn't be daytime drama without some trauma.
Triumph and torment.
Okay.
Tragedy and triumph. Tragedy and triumph.
Okay, listen, we're here for it as long as there's a shower scene or 2 included. All right.
we'll pepper in a little more of that for sure.
And I'm mad about this. I didn't even see this scene. I don't even know what you're talking about. So I gotta go.
Oh, Lucas, you're missing out, bro.
I know.
Missing out, bro.
Here. I'm gonna help you out. Sin fans, tweet or slide in the DMs of Lucas the shower scene.
I'll try to set Twitter on fire again.
Yeah, listen.
Twitter handle it twice.
Lucas, you don't want to see it, bro. You don't want to. It's.
I'm not.
They should have put it.
Talking about
they should have put it more on V. Like, you don't want to see this, bro.
God has put it more on me. I'm very glad they didn't put anything on me. Thank you very much. I'm very happy that it ended up being the Robert show.
Whatever show it was, we were there with popcorn. So we.
Thank you. Thank you guys, regardless. As always, thank you.
Thank you guys for popping in. We appreciate you. Lucas, we miss you on the show.
Terribly.
We're glad that you're doing well. Give Shelby our best. And
I will.
And Lando.
Oh, I will.
Rob and Victoria, y'all are killing it. Y'all are slaying. Like, y'all is sin.
Thank you, guys.
We're here for it. So we can't wait to see what unfolds because
can't wait to see the tragedy and triumph.
Yeah, and the pendulum.
That's what it's all about, baby. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate you. We'll
Thanks for having us.
Stay safe.
Oh yeah, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
Stay safe.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Be good. We'll see you guys. Stay safe.
One another.
We'll see you soon.
Later, guys.
Bye. Yay, that was fun, y'all.
They're all so sweet.
They're good people. Yeah.
Sweet.
I love that they love sports. That's awesome.
How am I still
I'm
here?
trying to figure out how to
We're-
call.
we don't know. We just keep seeing this.
Oh, now he's gone.
So really quick, we only have 2 minutes, and I realized we didn't show the
promo?
promo.
Yeah,
So
let's do it.
let's cue up the promo and then wrap this up in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Ryan, you with us? Let's hit it. This is what's coming up on next week's episodes of Days of Our Lives.
Gay.
You look like you've seen a ghost. He looks exactly like Stefan. Hey, are you all right?
Listen, I would have been the same way. Like if I saw my boo boo who I thought was dead in the Horton of the town of the square, I would have. Camila, you did that right. Now I can't wait. I can't wait to see how this story. Do you know somebody?
Wow.
Someone on one of the message boards was like, I hate the storyline, and someone was like, you just saw a second of them.
I know.
Like,
It's,
over a second.
the conclusions that these people come to, or the reactions, is just so extreme sometimes, and it's like, just sit and watch. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
Don't judge the entire show by.
Stop being
A of all,
haters.
don't judge the entire show by one promo.
By one promo.
No.
Be open to it, or
Yeah.
one
I'm just
clip,
glad
or
he's
one
back.
picture. Or,
Yeah, we're all glad he's back. Look, you know my famous motto: "Stand with open arms." All right,
and Brandon was a solid, solid actor. So
yeah,
Totally.
looking forward to it.
We
All
love
right.
it. We love it.
Yay! Okay, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week for another full recap and of course a quarantine check-in. Before we head out, Michael Mattis and Tammy Leah and Chelsea Overrocker, quickly go through your social medias.
ML Mattis, Instagram and Twitter.
Instagram, Chelsea Overrocker. Twitter, @Chelsea Overrocker.
Twitter, Tammy Gavea. Insta, Tammy.Gavea. Follow.
And of course, you guys can find all of us Dishin Days on Facebook and Instagram, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. And you can find good old chocolate me at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Thank you so much.
More please. More please.
And more please, and tell me more, and all of that. Thank you so much to Rob Wilson, Victoria Conifel, and Lucas Adams for joining us for our quarantine check-in. We hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. We'll see you back next week for another full recap of NBC's Emmy Award-winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. This has been Dishin Days from AfterBuzz TV. Bye, y'all.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.